wants to deal with a nightmare? They're like the liver of the dream world. They're bitter, weirdly essential, and somehow they always show up when you're trying to sleep off Taco Bell. And yet, science says that nightmares might be good for you. Which is like saying stubbed toes builds character. Maybe true, still annoying. So why does your brain, this glorious, constantly worrying supercomputer, just toss you into episodes of death, drowning, and being chased by killer clowns? Well, you're about to find out. Or maybe not, because as usual, science is a little bit lost in the dark. But let's get the technical bits out of the way right away. Nightmares usually happen during rapid eye movement or REM sleep. This is the sleep phase where your eyeballs are doing TikTok dances under your eyelids and your body paralyzes itself like it just got caught cheating on a test. And during this stage, your amygdala, the part of your brain that's responsible for fear, goes into a full rave mode. So your brain is literally lighting up your fear center while you're paralyzed? But why? Well, to be honest, we don't exactly know, but there are some studied theories, and three groups of scientists who believe that they've got it right. Let's go over those groups, and first up, we have the Threat Simulation Theory Squad. These scientists believe that nightmares are a form of threat simulation, basically kind of like a boot camp for emotional resilience. You could think of it like a theme park, except no cotton candy, at least 100 times more anxiety, and little minion Kanye's chasing after you. You wake up sweaty and also to find out that you tinkled a little. The idea is, if you can survive death by bear in a dream, then you're better equipped to handle a surprise bear in real life. This might be a solid theory if I lived near bears. Instead, I keep dreaming that I'm giving my acceptance speech for my gold YouTube play button in my underwear in front of Kanye. So explain that, evolution. Okay, so what if nightmares aren't about preparing for threats, but processing them? Which leads us to our next group, the emotional detox theory scientists. So this gang argues that nightmares are your brain's emotional toilet, flushing out built-up real-life anxieties. Ugh, gross. You could kind of imagine it like every stressful meeting, every awkward conversation, all funneling down the pipes into one colossal 3 a.m. horror fest. This gang's theory does help explain why after a rough week, you know the ones, breakups, deadlines, existential crises, you'll dream that you're being eaten by a giant demogorgon. It's stress relief, but in dream form, which makes sense, kind of. But then there's the mystery of recurring nightmares. The same horror show, but on repeat. If nightmares are emotional cleansing, why is my subconscious binge-watching the same episodes like it's Breaking Bad? What if nightmares aren't just training or cleansing, but maybe teaching? And now, the third group of scientists that we have entering the ring is going to be the symbolic growth theory crew. This one's the favorite of many spiritualists and therapists alike. It basically states that nightmares are symbolic, a hidden gem of personal insight. They show you repressed fears or unsolved trauma so that you can work through them, which is quite beautiful, but also raises the question, why is my spiritual growth symbolized by a hallway of melting babies whispering in Latin? But are those whispering babies really onto something? Strangely, yeah, according to a surprising amount of science. Which brings us to the real important question for everybody watching this video. How is any of this stuff good for me? Well, I'm glad you asked. Weirdly enough, frequent nightmarers score higher on empathy and creative thinking tests. It's kind of like nightmares are emotional CrossFit. They're painful, but you come out stronger and more imaginative as well. And get this, people who actually track their nightmares oftentimes report breakthroughs. Things like sudden clarity in a relationship, a career pivot, or just a creative spark. Take Henry Fuseli, for example, who created this masterpiece that was exhibited in 1782, literally titled The Nightmare. Did he actually dream of a demon horse peeping in on his lady? Maybe, maybe not. But his painting exploded across Europe and inspired countless artists to create similar dream works, like Dali with his melting clocks and perfectly crafted mustache. So yeah, turns out nightmares can literally be art. Now, some people try to control their nightmares through lucid dreaming, but here's the problem with that. When you actually take control of a nightmare, it oftentimes, it stops being scary. It's kind of like your brain was never trying to torture you, like it was trying to show you something instead. And then once you face it and take control over it, the monster just becomes a muppet. Even the melting babies chill out, mostly. So maybe nightmares are just misunderstood, like mushrooms or Kanye. They're not exactly glitches in the dream matrix. They're kind of like emotional Morse code. Letters from your subconscious post office, written in fire and delivered via psychic punches to the throat. You don't have to like nightmares, that's understandable, but maybe you shouldn't just ignore them. Because if dreams are the mind's playgrounds, nightmares are the fire drills. Annoying? Yeah, of course. But the scariest dream might be the one that shows you exactly what you need to fix in the real world to save your own real life.